Hello and welcome on the Watches TV, and today we're in for a new episode in our unboxing series, and we'll do so with a piece that is really dear to me. So let's go for some quick unwrapping. Aha! Box. Okay, let's put it on the right side. Take this little sleeve off, and here you immediately recognize boxes that are quite usual for MB&F timepieces. Okay, let's open it up. Okay, well, this already looks like kind of a usual MB&F spaceship type of box. Obviously very original. Here on the top you have a leather holder with all the guarantees and necessary papers. But let's take this out of the actual foam box. And look at this. This is a really cool object, kind of a tripod pedestal, almost look like one of those fancy speaker system. Okay, so let's open it up, and here we go. Well, this is the Legacy Machine Perpetual. It is not a new watch per se. I mean, we've seen it already before, as it was introduced in 2015, but this is the new version coming in this yellow gold case with this kind of blue electric sub-dial or under dial, as you can see on this watch. So the reason why I want to come back on this watch is that obviously we've been talking quite a lot about Perpetual Calendar recently, and I really wanted to make the full demonstration of how this watch is set, because it is unbelievably easy and quick to do. And furthermore, also this was the watch that has the most instantaneous jump in terms of date indication that we've demonstrated recently between the 29th and the 1st of March for this leap year. So again, a good example of what ingenuity means, because the man behind this, Mr. Stephen McDonald, he's really a master watchmaker, but he's not a watchmaker by trade. I mean, he's a self-taught watchmaker, and this obviously probably prevented him of thinking too much alongside the school books, as this watch has a really very different way of counting the days. In a normal perpetual calendar, the original way of doing things is that the regular month is made out of 31 days, and then the watch will manage exceptions. In this watch is completely the opposite, meaning that the regular month is made out of 28 days, and then it will manage the exception coming from there. But this is a real game changer when it comes to perpetual calendar, because it has enabled to include some very convenient fail-safe feature, preventing the user of really doing things that could be extremely troublesome on some other perpetual calendar watches, and I will demonstrate this in a second. But first, let's take it out. All right, let's put the cushion back in the case. And obviously with MB&F, I mean, they go the whole way through, and I mean, the case in itself is a little work of art. But let's get back to the watch itself. Regular size for Legacy Machine Perpetual, 44 millimeter in width and 17.5 millimeter in height. And this is not too high, considering, I mean, the intricacy and everything that is in there, because naturally one of the design characteristic of all Legacy machine is to have this flying regulating organ, flying balance wheel, I should say, above the dial. And one of the particularity, especially of this watch, is that since you have so many gears in the middle, because this is a fully integrated perpetual calendar movement, it has been completely designed from scratch. It's made out of 581 components. So again, one of the particularity is that the anchor and the escapement wheel are found below the movement. Actually, there's like a 14 millimeter pinion between the balance wheel and where the escapement is, and this is something that is very unusual for a watch. And actually, MB&F took this development on its own with a separate model called the Legacy Machine Split Escapement, where you will find again this feature. So as with other previous color combination, here what you can see is that the yellow gold of the case matches yellow gold on the outer and inner part of the dials and sub-dials. as well as the balance wheel itself. Between the two sub-dials here at 5 o'clock, you have a power reserve indicator. This watch holds 42 hours of power reserve. And on the opposite side, at more or less 7 o'clock, you have the leap year indicator with its 4 position. And as you can see here, we are indeed in a leap year as the little hand is on the full dotted indicator. Okay, so let's now go for some proper demonstration, and I promise you it's not going to take long because it is just that easy. So you have 4 pushers on the side of the case, each one corresponding to one of the date indication seen below, and it's very easy. So on the date indication, you just press it and it will dates will move on by 1 increment, nothing spectacular there. And on the opposite side, on the day indicator subdial, obviously these will be synchronized. So what's really convenient is that all these indications are completely independent from one another, and you can set them one after the other very easily. So now we're on the 26th of February. And I can still push the date indicator here. Everything will move by 1 increment, the day. I can also still play around with the date, with the day indicator, but the month and the leap year indicator are blocked for security reasons. Also something to be noted, because I mean you can't really see this, it's just so fast and instantaneous. But this is actually a retrograde date. So when the hand reaches the end of the month date, whether it's the 28th, 29th, 30th or 31st, then it will jump back to the first position. But this, again, happens just so quickly, there's no way you can see this. It's not an addition of date, it just goes back to the first of the month. Just a little thing that I wanted to add. As you could see, I mean, this watch is extremely easy to set. So not only is it beautiful, that's my personal opinion, but it is technically really remarkable. I just love it. I think it will always remain a classic. It will always keep its strong desirability, and I don't know exactly how the team of MB&F is going to make it evolve or change a little bit, because I mean there's not much to be done apart from these metal variation and color combinations, but we'll see. We know with these guys we can always be in for a surprise. So this is it for this kind of different type of unboxing, a bit more technical than usual. But again, I thought it was a good thing since we had the opportunity of showcasing this watch, because there aren't that many around available out there on the market. Again, this is a limited edition. It's limited to 25. This one is still for sale, but I don't know how many other are still left out there on the different markets. So hope you enjoyed this. See you real soon, and viva watchmaking!